We had no football this weekend. I had to talk to my family and stuff. It was worse than watching the 2012 Saints defense. This episode, we're talking Saints coaching staff, bargain free agent signings we'd like to see. Thomas, hit that intro.
Yo, what up? It's Deontay Harris with the New Orleans Saints. Y'all Saints Happy Hour podcast? Yeah. No bueno, not good. Y'all Saints takes. It's just awful. And I think it's because the drinks that y'all be drinking be having y'all a little woozy and y'all be forgetting like what team y'all talking about or something. I don't know what it is, but we gotta figure something out because it's bad. Let's regroup, reassess, and just be better, you know? All love.
All right, everybody.
Well, there goes the budget.
Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. I hadn't seen the new Deontay Harris intro. Andrew, you undersold it. I liked it. We got to reassess.
That was good. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, he didn't sell it quite like Shooter McGavin or Sean Payton. You know, he wasn't in full character. But
Shooter McGavin's a professional actor. Sean Payton has TV credits to his name.
Right.
He does. But I thought, Deontay stepped up. The thing I really appreciated was his insults about our drinking, given that he was suspended by the NFL for drinking and driving earlier this season. So that was beautiful.
We are on Twitch. Thanks for the people for joining us on the live stream. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch and remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron at patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get 2 months for free. Did you also know you can support the show for free every month if you use Amazon Prime? All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/Saints Happy Hour, click the subscribe button below the stream, and choose the option subscribe with Prime. It's super easy. It's going to take you less than 5 minutes. Go ahead and do it. Even if you're listening to the audio version of the show, we put a link in the description. You can do it each month. So it's not only just a one-time thing, and it's a great way to support the show. Also, Thomas, I added this. I want to thank John Nunez and William Taylor. They both signed up on Patreon this weekend. Thanks, guys. We love you. What's everybody drinking, and what drugs are you doing, Dave, wearing your goofy glasses?
I am drinking a little rum from Haiti, a Haitian rum, Clairon Séjour, maybe is how you pronounce it. I have no idea.
That sounds like an Andrews.
It's just I have one of those. I had one of those ice spheres, but it actually broke in half, so it's half of an ice sphere. Whatever. What's the geometric term for a half of a sphere? What is that called? All right. But this is delicious. Yes, this is delicious. Some would say it smells like leather, a little grassy, earthy notes. But
you are in full Mardi Gras regalia tonight.
I am.
For the people that can't see the stream, Dave is he's like it's Mardi Gras time.
I do look a little bit like a rabbit, but I'm wearing my Crew of Tucks glasses. Mardi Gras started. I was out on the parade route at 6:30 a.m. yesterday with some friends, holding down a spot. Waiting for the rest of our families to arrive. We had a blast. It's been 2 years since we've had real traditional Mardi Gras, and it was like the weather was beautiful. It was so nice to be out there, and
your kids are in like peak Mardi Gras.
They are. They really are. Yeah.
Window of like 6 to 10. That's the peak.
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old. Yeah, I have a almost 10-year-old.
I was going to say you were out there yesterday morning with the kids in your toilet bowl seat, sunglasses.
No, I just got these sunglasses out tonight. But no, I was out there with a friend of mine actually for most of the morning. The kids didn't show up till later.
Were you acting like neutral ground Karen out there, or
no? We got there. Neutral ground Karen would have just laid her tarp out and spray painted the neutral ground 2 days ago, and then just expect to roll up an hour before the parade. No, I got out there. I woke my ass up early, drove out there, put my stuff out there, stayed with my stuff. Okay, that's one of the other
important adult. Okay,
right, that's one of yes, absolutely. I didn't I didn't cover the streetcar tracks till the streetcar was done running. You can't do that either. No, everything was great. It was great. We had a good time. But if you like
take a word you were saying seriously with those glasses, I think we should have Dave talk about very, very serious topics.
Like the Russian-Ukraine,
but he can only wear the Dave. If you want to talk about the Ukraine, or you want to talk about politics or things that are upset people, you can only do it while wearing the glasses.
Now wait, well let me just get this out of the way now. So, if you like my glasses, if you're going to be in New Orleans next weekend for Deep Gras, as we call it, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not going to count Wednesday because that's Knicks and nobody cares about Knicks anymore. So I'll say Thursday starts Deep Gras and all the good parades. But so if you want a pair of these glasses, come out Saturday. If you come to the parades uptown Saturday, I'm riding in tux with my wife. Float 12A.
My wife.
Float 12A. That's the first in a tandem. We're a tandem on the first float. Sidewalk side, top level. I'm the first. Aaron and I are first and second position. If you're not out there Saturday, believe it or not, I am riding on Sunday. I'm doing back-to-back rides, which, as for somebody over the age of 40, is not recommended.
By the way,
I've never done that.
Here's
but Sunday, no, Ralph, hold on, it's not your turn yet. Sunday, I'm riding in Bacchus. That's at night. That's float 17A. I'm on the neutral ground side, top level again. And I'll be in the second position. So if you guys are going to any of those parades, make a sign. You get my attention. I will hook you up. I always hook up all my Saints, our listeners, and just in a cruel twist of irony, in Bacchus, I'm on the LSU float. I am on the goddamn one team, one heartbeat. Full LSU. Miles Brennan at the front of the float. The full LSU float. There is no God. There's no God that I would be put on such a float.
Here's what I want.
This is embarrassing.
I want listeners of this show. If you send me video of you yelling at Dave, solve your problems with aggression while he's on the float, I will send you a mug.
Solve your problems with aggression.
Yelling at Dave when he's on the float. Send me video of it. I'll tweet us the video. We'll send you a mug.
I gotta say, Dave on an LSU
on the real-time player right there.
Yeah, Dave on an LSU float feels like justice to me.
Sweet justice.
Yeah, sweet justice. I can't think of anything more
right.
perfect.
I did something wrong at some point.
The only thing that would be better is Ralph in a spelling bee.
I don't think a spelling bee wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Do they have a pronunciation bee?
Yeah.
I'm sure you would kill it in a spelling bee, Ralph.
Yeah.
Biloxi Blues says I should wear a Tulane shirt while on the LSU float. You better believe underneath my costume, I will be head to toe Tulane. I'm gonna be socks, belt, hat, everything Tulane.
You know, God listens to this podcast, and he said, "Dave, you're singing too many bars. I'm putting you on the LSU float."
That's right.
Retribution.
Whoever got Dave on the LSU float, chef's
Look,
kiss.
if somebody wants to sing whatever the hell Dave was singing last week or 2 weeks ago, if somebody wants to just shout that out at him too on the parade,
I will. I'm not going to be able to think quick enough for that. If you want to get my attention, you're either going to have some sort of visual aid, like a large sign, or you're going to have to make yourself really known, because when you're out there and there's tons of people and you're drinking,
it's an invitation, people.
Bare breast to see.
There's a lot to go. Not what I'm saying, but I'm not to the idea either. No, and what's adding to the irony of the whole LSU float thing is that it's a tandem float, and the second float in the tandem is a Saints float. Like, I could have just been on that float. Like, just put me on the other one that's in our tandem. Like,
is Dave's audio and connection kind of low key awful?
My connection, my camera looks like
it's like 2016 Saints Happy Hour podcast quality.
He looks like a bit video game.
Here's the thing, Andrew. We know we are in the doldrums before free agency because we just did 17 minutes of Dave telling people to come see him in parades.
I know, and I
because
thought we were
Saints
have a short podcast today.
They have no real news. They hired Carmichael, but that happened last week. That's kind of old news. They haven't hired a defensive coordinator. The rumor is Dennis Allen might make Ryan Nielsen and Richard's co-defensive coordinator. That sounds like nonsense because he's going to have two defensive coordinators and neither of them are going to call plays.
Wait a minute.
I've never heard of that.
Is that a rumor?
They hired a receiver coach today that I've never heard of. That's
Ralph
where we are.
Plows through, man. Ralph just freaking plows through.
Now, was the co-defensive coordinator thing, was that a rumor or was that just Nick? Yes. Was that just Nick Underhill tweeting an idea of his? Because I'm pretty sure that's just Nick Underhill just tweeting a thought he had while he
I don't think Underhill never does that. He never tweets.
No, I saw it on a couple other places. The thing is, though, Dave, I don't know if like Nick Underhill kicked it off and then the rumors that I saw on like verified Twitter accounts were because of Nick Underhill.
Nick Underhill doesn't put opinions out there.
Right.
If
he does. If he
tweets out things make sense, it means that he thinks it's going to happen based on intel.
Right. But he does disguise it as an opinion.
Jason Champagne says PFD is also reporting this.
See, I told you.
Put Nick Underhill.
Well, this is weird. Is this going to be too many cooks in the kitchen? Too many?
Well, no,
cooks?
because none of them are calling plays. They're not cooks. They're like, what's the dude?
What's
the dude in the kitchen that chops stuff up?
Oh, the prepper.
The prepper, the sous chef.
Yeah,
it isn't
the fluffer. Is that the fluffer?
The fluffer.
But like
Andrew just caught on.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Why not make everybody co-defensive coordinator? If nobody's going to call plays,
you get a defensive coordinator. You get a defensive coordinator. Everybody gets a defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Can they make Pete Carmichael offensive and defensive coordinator?
Well, I wanted to ask. That's what I wanted to ask you, Kevin, because the thing is, they said Pete Carmichael, like originally they're like, he doesn't want the job. In fact, he's going to take a demotion. He's going to step back. And then it's like, oh, he's the offensive coordinator. So, Kevin, does it matter how people say though? It doesn't matter how he got the job. But like, my thing is, did they beg him to take the job and like threaten him like, Pete, if you don't take this job, you're fired? Or did they make him like re-interview and it was just behind the scenes? Like, it kind of matters. Like, if the dude doesn't want the job, I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just the entire look. We're sitting here trying to parse this whole thing up when really it's you look at the entire picture and it's just befuddling. That's all it is. It's the whole thing's befuddling. It's like, okay, did he really say he didn't want the job and was fine stepping back, or did the Saints tell him, we'll probably give it to you, but we need to interview these people first? Or was it a case of he kind of just didn't want to be considered, but then they put the full court press on him, saying, Pete, we really need you to do it. Like, we like you. We want to keep it in, we want to keep Sean's vision on the team. Just, Sean's not here.
That's what I think. I think it's the last one you just said.
I think they interviewed all these dudes and they're like,
terrible. It's just like
they interviewed all these guys and they were just like, Pete, you gotta do this. I know you didn't want to, but like you have to do this.
Do you think people interviewed with Dennis Allen like Dave here? Like, they came in, they were unshaved, they were wearing glasses, they're not taking it serious. Like, the guy from the Colts shuffles in. He's got like a hand grenade. He puts it down on the table. He's like, you want to talk RPO?
Eric Bieniemy came in flashing his Super Bowl ring from a couple of years ago, and Dennis Allen didn't like it. I don't know.
That's, here's the thing. Andrew, we don't know. We Wikipedia, we Google these coaches. We pretend like we're aficionados on RPOs. We Google a guy for 10 seconds.
We edit Wikipedia.
Are we just mad because we wanted something new? Is that all this is? Like, we wanted something new and different.
100%. And I found it funny that like this receivers coach that they got from Tennessee. I saw some
That's new.
Saints,
He's new. Isn't that
he's
good
new.
enough for
He's
you?
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was interesting
We're
to see
throwing you the
people.
bone.
Do you want to feel
tweet
old?
about
He's
him.
33.
He's
Oh
33
my
I feel
years
God.
old. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was funny to see people tweet about him and act like they had any idea who that guy was.
Yes.
I mean, come on, let's stop it. Like no one knows who this guy is.
I watched
But,
the YouTube video. He does the route tree. Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. The coaching staff, to me, it's like I feel like all these guys can be good teachers, and it really boils down to I think commitment ebbs and flows with coaching. And I think there are years where I think Bill Johnson was great. Like, here's the thing: like they have all these coaches where, like, by the time they got fired, I'm talking about Joe Vitt and Bill Johnson, Greg McMahon, like you kind of come to the realization that they're not good, right? You kind of on their way out, you think like, yeah, those aren't good position coaches. But I actually think it's like anything else. From one season to the next, you don't know what
Greg
you're going to get.
McMahon he was beloved at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Beloved.
He was great. He did a good job. So
And we hated him. We were like, his special teams suck.
And so much. I mean, so much of it is connecting with the players and how they're able to execute, and how So, look, time will tell with these coaches. None of us have any idea how this is all going to play out, and I tend to think the players matter more than the coaches.
Kevin.
Yeah.
If you had to we haven't hated a Saints coach since like Rob Ryan, 2015-ish, right? And before that, like Spags, like 2012. We haven't directed our ire at an assistant coach in a while. If I said to you, you got to put money on an assistant coach is going to catch hell in 2022. What assistant coach would it be?
Zach Strief. I'm just kidding.
Who would it be that's going to catch the hell?
Andrew doesn't know football.
I mean, now you've got me like Googling who the hell the assistant coaches are now, because like, who are the assistant coaches right now? Like,
Who are these people?
Like, did we establish that they've hired everybody out that they're going to hire out?
No, they haven't hired defensive
Well, so
coordinator.
then why are you asking?
I'm asking because I got to fill time. I got to fill an hour. We got no Saints news. That's why I'm
the
asking.
guy
you.
that doesn't research things and doesn't know shit about shit. So why are you asking me, hey, pick a coach, pick a second-tier coach of the positions that they haven't fully hired yet. Pick one of them.
Well, maybe Ralph could have worded it better for you.
No, I'm just
specifically.
poking at
Maybe he should have said
Kevin in the ribs is what I'm doing.
Maybe he should have said, Kevin, if one of the Saints coaches was going to get suplexed off of the top rope of the WWE Super Slam event,
Super Slam.
I'm just playing with your kids' toys again. Is what's happening.
I'm just riffing here, man. I'm just.
I'll say this: But Dave just keeps going. If the offense tanks in the 2022 season, Pete Carmichael will catch shit. Pete Carmichael will quickly become public enemy number one.
I could see
if
that.
The offense,
that's actually
if the offense is anything less than, I don't know, pick what?
Well, my
the
answer
offense
would
was
be,
pretty bad last year, Andrew, and Sean Payton didn't catch a lot of hell.
I got a good answer for this. So they just got rid of Dan Dalrymple, who was the head of physical training. So they're still waiting. They have, Charles Bird is still there. And they have a couple assistants, but like whoever becomes head of fitness, just given the injuries that they've had, I think he's got to come in. I think if we're the guy that just got fired because of injuries. I mean, injuries hit the Saints really hard, right, this past year, and so I think if that perpetuates,
medicine's not a science.
If that perpetuates and continues, this would have been the perfect time, by the way, to drop the Tecmo Bowl injury music.
Right. Sleeping on
sleeping on. There we go.
I don't have it. Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph made it happen.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Dave, you're a little impatient with music, huh? You want it to stop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
when it's good, most people want to keep
We stretched
listening.
out some music too long, huh?
Damn.
Shocker.
But anyway, no, I think, look, the injuries have been out of control, and I think they obviously fired this guy and moved on so that they could bring someone else in that's maybe a little bit more innovative, just change the game up a little bit. But look, the relationship with Oshner is still there, and that's another layer to this where at some point the doctors, the evaluations of these guys, the number of setbacks these guys are seeing, that's a big thing that I think fans are mad about.
Well, I just feel like, Dave, Sean Payton was so successful for so long, and the Saints had won the last 5 years, and he won a Super Bowl. So he wasn't above criticism, but he didn't get that venom and that fire. I just feel like we're going into a new era of Saints football where we're going to rip the coach to shreds if they start 1-2. And we didn't do that with Sean Payton.
Right. Well, just first to address Andrew's point about, I just wanted to say, Andrew, you say? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what? I mean, look, Peyton got a long leash. Peyton was practically untouchable, I guess you could say, and he earned that, and he deserved that. And to be honest with you, I thought Kevin's answer with Pete Carmichael was totally valid. I think that's probably, if Vegas was putting odds on it, I think Pete Carmichael would be the odds-on favorite to be catching hell mid-season, or maybe even earlier than that. I don't know. But if the offense isn't performing. But my argument would be, I mean, Pete Carmichael has been here the whole time too. And I know I'm in the minority. I know Saints fans like Ralph are irrational and fly by the seat of your pants, and you're very emotional.
Prisoner of the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. So I know that most Saints fans will be quick to blame Pete Carmichael, but I think Pete Carmichael deserves.
Why hasn't he fixed quarterback?
Just
yet?
As long of a leash. What do you mean fixed? That's ridiculous.
They haven't fixed quarter. He hasn't. He's been offensive coordinator for 6 days. He hadn't fixed quarterback.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're doing.
Who has a longer leash, Dennis Allen or Pete Carmichael with the fan base?
Dennis Allen.
You think so?
Yes.
If the Saints start 0-4,
I don't think so.
No, Dennis Allen. I think
it depends. It depends, Andrew. If the offense is scoring 25, if the offense is scoring 24 a game, we will crush Dennis Allen, because we'll be you're a defensive coordinator. You are supposed to hold teams down.
The record that he had with the Raiders becomes a huge talking point if they lose early, in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
It's only if it goes as Ralph said. If the offense is putting up more than 25 and they're still losing, then it's on him.
I think expectations are low though for the offense. I think if the offense is slightly better than last year, last year they were what, 28th, right?
They were 31st. They were last in passing, by the way.
Last. Right. So I would say if the offense is 18th, not middle, mediocre. Yeah. But showing improvement from last year and the Saints are losing, then I think it becomes, I agree with you that if the offense isn't scoring and it's like last year,
right,
then it's probably going to be Pete Carmichael. But if the Saints are 0-4 and it's the offense isn't great, but they're 19th in the league, and it's a defense that's disappointing, and the defense is maybe 16th in the league. They're just not top 10, right? But they're losing. I think the whole how he performed with the Raiders, and he can't cut it as a head coach, that becomes a huge talking point for the fan base, I bet.
It does. Well, speaking of, the next year, we got NFL free agency, Dave, 23 days away. And by the way, you want to become a patron, because last year, I looked it up, Andrew. The first 11 days of free agency, we did 12 freaking shows. 12 of them. So
nice.
So if you want your Saints fix of breaking news, we have it. So become a patron and we will give it to you. We will inject that into your veins.
Yeah, what were those shows? Passanio?
Passanio. We did Passanio. We did 3 separate quarterback shows before they signed Jameis.
That is sick. Sick.
We are not well people. But I'm just saying, become a patron.
Sick.
Like, we got you covered for breaking news. But here's my question to you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I got this funny feeling that Loomis is going to create more cap space than we even think he can, and it's going to be more exciting than we imagine. So I'm asking you, if the Saints can, excluding keeping their own guys and excluding quarterback, if I said to you, you can have one moderately priced guy, who do you want? You don't have to give me a name, but you can give me position.
Well, that's good
as Thomas is streaming free agent highlights of dudes.
I don't see any of our video anymore. I don't see Thomas's thing.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm watching the feed separately. It looks like Allen Robinson just caught a touchdown.
And also, I'm only going to be able to give you a position because I can't give you a player because you didn't give me the damn rundown for the show this week. So I have no idea what to freaking prepare for. So, Jesus H. You're sending me the rundown now?
Yes.
Oh, great. That's
just
perfect.
a little too late.
Yeah, perfect.
Just Google a freaking free agent list.
I'm just gonna say, look, look. The needs are obvious: quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. Hell, maybe somebody on the offensive line. I'm not gonna rehash things, but like Jimmy G.
If I told you that they either get a receiver or tight end. You can't have both. You can only have one in free agency, and then they'll address the other position in the draft.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
I'd say tight end because there's nobody there, and I guess I would just kind of bank on Michael Thomas coming back.
Yeah, and it does feel like rookie tight ends tend to not do as well as rookie receivers.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's weird how the NFL is like that. I feel like it takes guys a while to figure out tight end, whereas receiver you can see guys make an impact immediately.
Yeah. But Kevin? Yeah, I saw your tweets, Ralph. I know you want.
I want Njoku.
Yeah.
Noku.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One for comedy.
Njoku. Yeah,
because
you said it correctly.
I said it. You know me. I don't have the confidence. Even when I'm saying correctly, I'm like skittish.
Yeah.
Ralph can't say anyone's name right.
That's right.
You should put those Peyton sound bites in the freezer, Thomas. I don't know. He's dead to us. He's dead.
Does this Peyton sound bites kind of make you guys a little sad?
It does.
Yeah.
It hasn't hit me yet. It's not going to hit me till game week 1, and Peyton's not on the sideline.
But Kevin, it's a good question by Andrew in like, what is the Saint besides quarterback? Because if you don't fix quarterback, they're screwed and they're going to fire everybody in 3 to 4 years. So we get that.
But like, if there's 3 years, if they're bad,
yeah, I would say they'll give it. I would say they'll give Dennis Allen at least 2. But if he's bad in the year 3, they might kick him to the curb mid-season.
Yeah,
if it's really bad. But like, it's a good question. Like, what position would you be like? If I could fix one thing in free agency because the Saints have limited resources, would you rather fix one thing, or is it more important to keep Williams, Armstead, that sort of thing? Like, if you had to choose between that, fixing something else or keeping your own guys.
Define fix. Like, if I say fix the offensive line, that means what? We have a top 10 or actually, no. If I say fix the offensive line, does that mean we have a top 8 offensive line in terms of surrendering sacks, pressures?
Yes, and Andrew won't be able to make 10 gifs of Ruiz being terrible.
Then I would say fix the offensive line.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's interesting.
I like that. I really like
that. Whoever you have as quarterback, if for some reason it's still Jameis, if for some reason it's we roll the dice on Taysom, or we draft a person, throw him in there, or we get one of the free agent guys for like a 2-year deal, whoever it is, their ass needs protecting. It can't be fucking Turnstile, Ruiz, and these other guys getting pancaked left and right. And we cannot have whoever the quarterback is get their ass slammed to the ground like Joe Burrow. When it's Joe Burrow, it's different because Joe Burrow's fucking great. But you put anybody else back there, it's gonna be David Carr.
No, I that's a great answer, Kevin, because I think
I'm giving out great answers tonight. What the hell?
I know what is that?
No,
it's the off season. There's 0 topics. Therefore, it's my time to shine.
Yeah, no, I'm with you because I think there's elite quarterbacks: Russell Wilson, Rodgers, Burrow, Mahomes. Josh Allen. They're in this bucket, right, where you have an awful offensive line, and they may struggle, they may have bad games, but they're still elite quarterbacks, and they're going to find a way to win a lot of games, regardless of what's going on up front. And then you have this bucket of like good to mediocre, and like Teddy Bridgewater's in there, Jameis is in there. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm just saying they're somewhere in that bucket. And Kirk Cousins is in there, Jimmy Garoppolo's in there. And like all these guys can go from playoff quarterbacks, which Cousins has been, which Garoppolo has been, to
not good,
absolutely awful, depending on how their protection is.
Look at Stafford. Stafford went from kind of meh at Detroit to he won a Super Bowl.
He didn't go from kind of meh. He was passing for over 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
Was he good?
Yeah. He was good. Here's the thing. Matt Stafford was a guy that was good, but him alone was not going to put you over the top. If you put him with a team, if you surrounded him with talent and gave him and he was on a team that could do something, he could absolutely be a difference maker.
But I'm saying I would take Matthew Stafford swing wildly. If you put Matthew Stafford on the Texans, they're still winning 5 games. Matthew Stafford is going to elevate.
I think it's a lazy take to say that Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo are bad. I've seen both of them.
Man.
Absolutely.
Garoppolo was bad.
I have watched them light defenses on fire. I have seen them put up stat lines.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Juge, send all your mail to him.
They've won game. They've been to the playoffs.
Andrew doesn't know football.
I'm not
Tebow
saying,
went to the playoffs.
Listen, I don't want either of those.
And he won a game.
I'm not saying that I want those guys to be the quarterbacks for the Saints. My point is, and I don't think they're great quarterbacks, but I do think you can win with them. We know that. We've seen it. We've seen those guys make the playoffs. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo go to a freaking Super Bowl.
Here's my question, though, Dave.
Grossman went to a Super Bowl.
Totally.
Totally.
And you know what Rex Grossman had, Kevin?
Cannon.
Great point, Kevin. You know what Rex Grossman had? A dominant offensive line.
Here's my question, though, Dave. If the Saints in free agency would sign a guard to a medium-sized contract and then draft an offensive lineman at 18, how enraged would Saints Twitter be on a scale of 0 being cool with it, 10 being multiple state killing spree?
Oh my God, 150. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I would be okay with it. I would. To me, if you're doing something like building, investing in your offensive line and building your offensive line, it's kind of. I'm not gonna say that, but it's kind of like you're preparing. Obviously, you're doing that because you're preparing to get an asset in a quarterback, and you want to take care of him. It's basically the opposite of the.
Take care of him.
It's yes. Like a small fucking baby.
Like a small baby.
It's the opposite of what you've seen in Cincinnati, where you go and get the talent, you go and get Joe Burrow, and then you leave him out there to dry and he gets his ass kicked. It's possible that you can do it the opposite way, where you get the guys on the offensive line to protect it. So when you get the guy you want, you're giving him the best chance. You're giving him an opportunity to succeed. You're giving yourself the best chance to win. Now, your question is how is Twitter going to feel? Well, again, this goes back to what we were saying before.
I think we know exactly how
right about the Saints fan base in general. But me, maybe somebody like Andrew, I think we'd be like, is it exciting? No. But it's.
I got excited about Larry Warford. I'm not going to lie. 2017, I was pumped about Larry Warford.
Okay, but offensive line is an important part of your team, just as important as all the skill position guys, all the guys that you see and whose trading cards you want to collect and all that kind of stuff. If not more important than that, because without the offensive line guys, those other guys can't do their jobs and don't get the job done. So.
Here's the thing, Andrew. What would infuriate Saints?
Just pick the best talent. It's like trickle downism. Like if you just take the best players, I'm serious. No, but what I mean by that is like if you just take the best players, regardless of what your need is, if you just take the best players, everything will fall into place. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've got 2 great offensive tackles already, and the best player available is a 3rd offensive tackle. Just take the 3rd. Just take that offensive tackle. You can trade him. You can turn that into something else. You don't have to actually use him. But
they drafted Will Smith, Darren Howard, and Charles Grant were already on the roster. When they drafted Deuce McAllister, Ricky Williams was already on the roster. When they drafted Ryan Ramczyk, Zach Strief was entrenched as the right tackle. They did not need those players. And obviously, fast forward to now, you look at those picks and you're like, man, I'm really glad they took them.
Right. Here's my question, though, Andrew, because this is the graphic on the podcast that people see it on the YouTube. Thomas made an amazing graphic as always. What would infuriate Saints Twitter more? Investing in the offensive line and free agency in the draft, or
that one?
Your 2022 starting Saints quarterback, Marcus Mariota.
No, thank you. I honestly,
I would rather telling you about. You know that bucket I was telling you about? Mariota is not in that bucket.
I would rather Teddy Bridgewater. And last week we went over all the quarterbacks.
Look at Mariota. He's running over people.
Teddy Bridgewater. No,
he's running for his life.
No, thank you.
That too.
When was this? What week was this that he was playing?
It's got to be preseason. It's got to be preseason.
No, this is
that's the middle of the season.
This is week 15, 16. This looks like it's week 16. Wait, what happened?
Raiders. Look at that. He's running, scrambling, doing stuff. You can have Jameis and Mariota.
Hold on. I stopped paying attention to the AFC stuff. This thing. What did Derek Carr get injured late in the season that Mariota had to come in?
No, they mixed in Mariota, kind of like he was like discount Taysom. He was like dollar store Taysom. They'd like mix him in every once in a while.
Think about that. Think about that concept for a second. Dollar store Taysom.
I'm not saying it's good, Ed. I'm just saying.
No, that's right. I would take.
Andrew doesn't know football.
I would take Louis Vuitton Taysom over dollar store Taysom any day of the week.
Yeah, when you can get a second cheaper version, wish.com Taysom, right. You have to do it.
Taysom is Bob Dylan and Mariota is the Wallflowers.
Calling someone,
how dare you?
Calling someone dollar store Taysom might be the highest insult that Ralph has ever levied.
I'm just saying though, if Jameis goes to Pittsburgh and Teddy goes to the Colts, who you gonna get? You're gonna get
Russell Wilson. Is Russell Wilson still open?
No, he's staying in Seattle.
He is. That's
vaccine man. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Pittsburgh. I'm just saying the options ain't good at quarterback, man.
Carson Wentz.
I'm just saying. If you, I think I would take Mariota over Teddy Bridgewater.
No way, no chance.
I don't know, man. Bridgewater's coming off that bad injury.
God, please, can we stop talking about Teddy? Look, I love him. I miss him. I don't.
So you would mean
the alternative that Ralph gave me was Mariota.
No.
Yeah, you're apparently ready to sign and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo here.
Yeah. Yes, I would.
I never said that.
I'm not willing to sign and trade.
You in your heart, you think it though.
Jimmy G.
Kevin, I was agreeing with you, Kevin. I was saying that I've seen those guys succeed with good offensive lines. Ergo, give me a good offensive line. I was agreeing with you.
I'm with Andrew. The Jimmy
Solve
G.
your problems with aggression.
I think Jimmy G would be fine. I think Jimmy G could.
I never said that.
I'm saying that. I am saying that.
You're not agreeing with Andrew then.
Here's a question for all of you.
No,
Jimmy G. He can either go to Carolina or Tampa, or he can go to the Saints.
Wait a
What do
minute.
you
Am I
want?
imagining things? Was Andrew not just defending Jimmy G?
He was.
10 minutes ago on this podcast.
Would you rather Jimmy G on the
I'm
Saints
very
or
confused.
Carolina and Tampa?
I was just saying good offensive lines can make guys like Jimmy G
good
look
offensive
good.
lines. True. Yeah. It's true though. It's true. Good offensive lines matter.
All right, well, you could say that about any quarterback.
The thing about
Mariota,
As long as they're in the bucket.
Mariota might be good with a good offensive
Mariota's
line.
not in the bucket.
Mariota's not.
He's out of the bucket.
He's in the
Where is this bucket, by the way? Is this the bucket that's going to be on the top level of my float in the crew of Tucks?
This is the bucket. This is the bucket that SpongeBob works in.
Because I don't want to look in that bucket that's going to be on my float.
We need an intern to timestamp and categorize our predictions.
That's Thomas. That's what you said.
Because the Saints will sign Mariota, and we'll forget about this podcast.
Someone.
Yeah, I might be right.
I am doing that.
Yes, I've said this exact same thing, and Thomas was like, "I'm doing that," and I'm like, "That's when you
forget the salaried employee. We should get an intern on top of that. We should do something.
No, you should get an intern to remind Ralph I'm doing that.
Yeah. We'll give you college credit.
Thomas needs an assistant,
but needs an assistant.
But hold on though. If we're gonna hire somebody else
in Luxembourg,
I was about to say if we're gonna hire somebody else, that person has to be like from in Australia or some other place that's like equidistantly far away from us and Thomas.
Speaking of Malta, Ralph, what's our ranking?
Malta.
We haven't even talked about Malta.
Malta is
forgotten about
Malta is becoming a disappointment on Jonathan Sullivan type level. It is.
Welcome to Uganda.
Not even in the top 20, which is just sad because
I
feel like Thomas
falling off. It's over.
He accomplished the goal, and then the dynasty just fell apart.
Right. That's like when you're a kid and you're studying for a test, and as soon as the test's over, you forgot everything that you just crammed for. It's fucking Thomas.
Isn't that more like Cedric Ellis though?
Yeah, you're right.
Like
you're
second week in a row.
Sullivan was total failure.
Cedric
Ellis won a Super Bowl. He looked like he was on an ascension. He was playing really good football, and then the bottom fell out.
And then the bottom fell out, and he was out of the league.
But hey, I mean, we traded up to get him, so
like
you know.
Cedric Ellis to us.
Cedric Ellis, yeah. You got. But
do
listen,
better. Malta, come on.
Malta, do better. You can still get back in our good graces, and we can still learn to love you again. But you gotta do better.
We're giving y'all another month, otherwise it's the Isle of Man.
Here. All right, we didn't have a hotline this week because we didn't come up with a good topic. But I
gave y'all a couple.
Quote unquote, we didn't come up with a good topic.
Yeah, whatever. Here's the topic. I want people to give me their funniest Saints quarterback take. Wrong answers only. We'll play them next week.
I like that.
Saints quarterback for 2022. Wrong answers only, as the kids like to say.
By the way, Ralph, I really appreciate that you got all the free agency targets as fat heads on your wall. I wish I could.
I do. I have this.
I wish I could see what.
There's an OJ Howard fathead.
Yeah. Ndoku. I got Cedric Wilson for Dallas. He's my man.
David Sudoku.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Here's the
Jimmy Wardleopolo.
And my personal favorite.
Go Tigers.
DJ Shark up top. He's the guy I want because I just want to be able to play.
Go Tigers.
All year long.
DJ Shark.
But I think his leg fell off in Jacksonville.
You two can get fucked on that.
DJ Shark.
EJ Shark.
We'll have Thomas creating videos. We'll be like, all right. So the hotline next week. Tell us your best Saints quarterback for 2022. Wrong answers only. Thomas, what's the trivia this week?
Trivia this week sponsored by Budrich. He's back.
This is my
back,
cue to
baby.
get a drink.
He wants to block me, but he's back.
Oh, why? What did you do?
He doesn't like the Baby Shark song. You better hope, Budrich, that we don't sign DJ Chark.
Promoting Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean,
I've already read.
We're going to be dropping the Baby Shark soundbite every time we talk about DJ Chark.
I've already read.
I got you, Budrich.
Fuck you,
My answer is Archie Manning.
George.
There you go. All right, what's the trivia, Thomas?
The trivia question is: Drew Brees leads the Saints in fourth quarter comebacks with 6 in 2018. Who is second?
Second, like all time. Second for 1 year. That's
All
a
time,
confusing
all time.
question.
It's either
for 1 year.
I mean, it's got to be either
for 1 year.
It's got to be
1 year.
It's got for 1 year.
Ooh.
Archie probably didn't win enough games.
No,
Yeah.
it definitely ain't Archie.
It's got to be Brooksy, right?
That doesn't look like Brooks.
That doesn't look like Brooks, but if it's not Brooks, who would it be?
How long was
be-
Jim? How long was
I
Jim
got
Everett on the Saints?
3 years.
Abear, I guess.
Abear
That's Bobby Abear. That looks like Bobby Abear.
could it have been Jim Everett?
I don't think Jim Everett won enough games.
One of the Wilsons?
Dave Wilson? No.
I mean, that looks
All right,
like
Budrich-
a quarterback from the '80s. So I mean,
Yeah.
Bobby
I
Abear.
Budrich
agree
says
with
it's
you,
an
Kevin.
absolute. Budrich says it's an absolute curveball. I'm
An
gonna go with
absolute
Steve. I'm gonna go with
curveball.
Steve Walsh. I'm gonna go with Steve Walsh.
That's yeah.
Ooh.
Wait,
That's a
how
good-
long was Wilson playing? Hang on, I got to
Wilson played for like 2 years for the Saints, but he only started
He didn't,
1
he
year.
didn't win any games.
yet.
I don't know. It's an absolute curveball.
Where is Dave? You need his help, guys.
Is it Werfel?
No.
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 Did Werfel even win 6 games?
No. No.
That's true.
He did not.
I'm going to say that looks like Billy Joe Tolliver, I think. I'm saying Billy Joe Tolliver.
Wow.
That's my answer.
I'm going with Steve Walsh.
All right.
I'll go.
Did I win yet? Did I
I'll
win
go
yet?
Steve Walsh. I'll go Steve Walsh.
Archie Manning.
Who is it?
No whammy, no whammy. 4K.
Oh my!
Richard Todd.
Richard, what? That's not even the right photo, but that's not even the right photo, my man.
No?
I saw. Yeah, isn't that John 4K?
That's John 4K. Not even the right.
I wonder why we got screwed.
I mean,
Hang on.
I mean, the answer was so crazy. He couldn't even get the right picture.
this is the most on-brand trivia question we've ever had.
Richard Todd had 5 fourth quarter comebacks in 1984.
Pull up 1984. We got to investigate
This
this.
guy's wearing a neck sock in these photos I'm looking at.
A neck sock.
Did the Saints even win 5 games in
Interesting
1984?
word for
Yeah.
condom.
Yeah, I think they had a run of like 7-9, 7. Yeah, they were 7-9.
No, wait, hang on a minute. Is that can't be Richard Todd?
Yeah, they did go 7-9. You're right.
They
Under
did.
Bum Phillips.
I mean,
Richard Todd went 6-8 that year. I guess 5 of them were fourth
comeback
quarter comebacks.
wins.
Wow.
Richard Todd had the magic.
Budrich in the chat.
He's the Polish Richard.
Well, hang on. Richard Todd did wear number 11.
It's full is Richard Todd.
Yeah, he
now,
was number
now,
11.
yeah, now he's gonna block you, Juge. Now, Ulrich is blocking.
Now he's
you.
gonna block you.
Congratulations.
That's right.
That's why
Why
he's
not?
not answering
Sean
in the
Payton.
chat. That's why
That's
he's not
right.
answering. He's blocking
Wait,
you
why
right
is he
now.
blocking-
Sean Payton and Ulrich. Add him to the list
Wait, why is he blocking me?
because you suck.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
Fair.
Yeah.
Tough but fair.
Yeah. Moving on, Ralph. Come on, keep the train moving.
Yeah, keep the train moving.
Does anyone want to guess who was the Saints' leader in receptions that season?
Dude, it's got to be some.
1984?
It's
Without
got to be
looking.
some like Jeff Groh or some shit or Tie in the Sky, some
Pie in the
nonsense.
sky.
The leader in receptions for that team was
running back.
Hokie Gaijan.
Yeah.
Oh my
wow, a fullback. What? How many
And
yards?
the leader,
How many
the
yards?
leader in
Yeah.
it was 35 catches. The leader in yards was Tyrone Young with 5.
That's Tie in the Sky.
Wow. And second place in receiving is tied between Wayne Wilson and Jeff Groth.
Just so passing in the 80s.
Hobie Brenner is number 2 in yards. Hobie Brenner had 19.8 yards per catch that year.
Wow. The Saints' passing game was speculative. It was just throw it up and hope.
Nobody got. Yeah, fuck. What a terror! Like this was tragedy.
Okay, Kevin's reliving his childhood now.
God.
I can't believe that's the answer.
It's just Richard Todd, man.
Can we get some more like modern day questions, please, for the love of God?
Post 2000 questions to keep Dave.
Yeah, that was a good question. That blew my mind.
We had 4 in a row, Dave.
The 84 Saints won 7 games.
Yeah, 7.
How the hell did that happen?
I have no idea that. Did we beat
the Falcons? If Bum would have found
twice?
A quarterback, if Bum would have just had a pick in the 83 draft, the Saints' history might have been completely different.
That wasn't the season that Russell Erxleben threw a touchdown pass, was it?
No.
Bum didn't have any picks in the draft?
No, they traded their first round pick in 83 for Bruce Clark. And then they drafted Dave Wilson in the supplemental draft, which that does not count as a first round quarterback. I don't care what you people say. It's a fact. So Thomas, we got to get to trivia. Hit the music so I can give the people the figure.
You mean we got to get the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got to get a Glove Life update from Kevin.
Yeah.
Although Hokie Gajan did have a 158.3 quarterback rating.
Wow.
1 pass, 1 completion for a touchdown.
Wow, that's perfection there.
Yep.
Take it to the top. Never, ever get disappointed.
The offensive coordinator's name in 1984?
King Hill.
Yep.
That was Bum Phillips' boy. He was like offensive coordinator for Bum, like wherever he went. All right, Thomas.
Next question.
First question. By the way, I had to reuse like a couple questions from last week because we didn't get that many.
Yeah, pick up your game. Just because it's the off season, people, doesn't mean you can slack.
No days off, guys.
Questions.
Hold on.
And the hotline and the clips. Stay in the game.
Before you go, Thomas, Blake wants to know, Ralph, if he can get a grip strength update from you.
Oh, good question. Good question, Blake.
Downhill.
We gotta let that one jump to the front of the line.
11. I'm at an 11-year-old. I'm going downhill. I've been slacking.
Can
we
we
get back on track?
Like, will you show us? Like, can I see like what you do? Like, as for exercise, you got something?
Well, like for exercise, like I don't have it, but like you grip a lacrosse ball, you grip a tennis ball, you pull like this, you do like this, and then then Dave, you like pick up pennies and marbles and like horribleness. And I need to be more committed. I'm slipping. I'm falling back.
Okay,
why don't you drink with your bad hand when you relift that? Big
I can't. Like it would just be all over my shirt.
Well,
like, I need to get to that level.
Can't is what losers say, Ralph. Okay. Yes, you can. You're just not trying hard enough. You're not trying often enough. That's why your grip strength is that of my son, who's turning 10. Is because you won't even try. You won't even freaking try.
That's right.
Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave.
All right, knock it off.
All right, what do we got?
Next question.
You say.
First question from Who Dat. If one of the podcast hosts quit, how long would it be before we noticed, with Thomas replacing him with a myriad of old sound bites?
Well, first of all, that would be Kevin. Kevin would be the first one to quit. As he
like
raises
a small freaking baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
And I think look, I'll be honest, I think everybody's got their own kink, and I think that there are a few Kevin stans out there who listen to our podcast, and Kevin is their favorite. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Where?
I can't.
No, they
I didn't say they were women.
The anti-Kevin people are vociferous.
I'm assuming they're men.
Kevin, he's never leaving.
I'm assuming they're men, but
I think Dave.
But there are some people out there that I think they would notice. They would call it out immediately, and they'd be like, "Wait a minute, Kevin hasn't been on for over a month, and that's a little bit longer than his usual
I
hiatus.
think Dave could trick because Dave, you have a wide library of sound bites. I think more so.
Oh, so I could just be like
I don't even have a joke.
Right, I could just be
think
replaced by
Dave-
a
I think
robot.
Thomas
Nobody
could
would
fire
phone
off-
so terrible. It does not sound like that on my phone.
Yeah, I think Dave could trick people for like 3-4 weeks. They
And I don't offer anything as far as like football analysis, so
They would
nobody
just
gives a
say-
shit about that.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
would just
Dave,
say,
that's
why
me and
does
you,
Dave
man.
keep
We're
talking
out.
about
We're
Ralph's
out.
pants? Why does he just keep saying the same
I
thing
don't know.
over and over again?
I still, whoever that was who came to our live show, who came up to me and said that I was his favorite and I was the reason that they listened. I still remember that. That meant a lot to me. Look, you know what? Actually, we were talking before the show. We have Ralph thinks we have about 2,000 regular listeners, but we only have 300 and something patrons. If there are people out there who haven't become patrons because you don't want to pay because you don't want to listen to Ralph, and if you need more Dave, if more Dave
Or less.
will get you over the line and will get you to
Over
become
the
a
hump,
patron, we'll talk about. I can possibly give
Do
more
more.
of myself.
We could
I
get
could
Dave on the
possibly
Daily
give more
Show.
of myself. My wife will
Okay.
be really pissed.
Next
I'll prob-
question.
I'll probably
Next question.
I'll probably have to.
Next.
Okay, Don Cariello. We know you can
Can you
remove
mute-
Ralph.
I know you can mute him. I know you can do that all over again, Thomas. You've done
You
it before.
can.
Support the show.
But that's
Support
Don
the show.
Cariello, man.
Gun, get it.
He's the mob boss.
Anyway, I'm serious. If anyway, go ahead. Just, next question. Next
Support the show.
Support
Please.
the goddamn show.
I'm not gonna be a jerk.
Why not?
Support
already
the
are.
show, or I will stick more Athletic Green commercials into the free version.
I'm being
Until-
serious. I mean, we may have some listeners who could care a little bit, slightly less about the X's and O's and slightly more about me going to the bathroom. Is all I'm saying.
Is Athletic Greens sponsoring us?
That is correct.
Can I get some free stuff sent to my house? Is that?
I will. I'll tell our ad guy Andrew to get you some.
Yeah, I like that stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah. It'll be 30 minutes of commercials. This podcast will be an hour and 50 minutes long. How about that? Become a patron. It's a threat.
You won't even be able to tell the difference between us and the WWL post game show.
Jesus.
Shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired.
Next question.
This got dark.
Okay, so I promise you guys, this isn't scripted, guys. Next question comes from Blake Zyken, and Blake Zyken asks, "Who was roasted harder on last week's show, Dave or Eli Apple?"
But you know what? That's right. I forgot to address this. I listened to the last show. First of all, I thought you guys were fine. None of my feelings were hurt. I thought you guys took it easy on me.
Thanks for giving us permission.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, if I give you permission, then it can't hurt me.
Take it easy.
This just further proof that you can't live without me.
That's right.
You joke about me not being on this podcast, but you couldn't go 1 week without discussing me. So
It's true. I
Yeah.
think I even said at one point that I was so thrilled that you weren't on the show, and then about 17 minutes later, I was like, "Man, I really missed Dave."
I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that.
I mean, to be fair, when somebody's missing, I mean, you got to take your shots.
that's right.
Yes, clearly.
You got to take advantage of that.
No, because here's the thing. When I'm here, you bastards take your shots at me right at my face.
That's a good point. We're way
Goddamn
more
John
brutal on
Wick film
Kevin
here.
when
I'm
he's
taking
here.
shots left
That's
and right.
This
That's
feels
true.
like the perfect segue for your love update.
Yes,
Kevin.
there we
That's right.
go, Andrew. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Give us a
There
love
really
update.
isn't.
Come on.
There really isn't much of a love update. I went on one date in the past week.
We don't even know how it turned out yet.
No, we don't.
Thomas has hit the
We
violin.
don't need the violin
Thomas
yet.
had his finger on that button. He was ready. He was just like,
You're just going to assume the date went poorly.
Yeah, I mean, no, the date didn't go poorly. It's just there was no love connection. It was just like nice person.
We'll be back
Enjoyed
in
hanging
2
out
or 2.
with him. Nice person, enjoyed hanging out with him. Just there was no spark. There was no like.
But you thought that she was into you physically, of course.
No, I mean it.
Wow.
I don't take into account shit. I don't take into account.
Thank you. Basically, that's the story of my life right there. I don't take into account shit.
So she was attractive, but you weren't attracted to her.
She was nice looking. I just wasn't attracted to her.
You're being nice. She was ugly. You just
no. She was not.
Say she was ugly.
She catfished you.
I would have said she was ugly in the pre-show, and I did not say that in the pre-show.
He did not. Fair enough.
I said she was nice looking in the pre-show. I just didn't feel it. Like you have to feel that thing when you're with somebody in order to want to be with them in the full time.
She was a big fan of the Wallflowers, wasn't she?
But
you people, this is.
I wouldn't hold that against her.
Okay.
I wouldn't hold that against her. I'll hold it against Ralph, but I won't hold that against her.
Kevin, certainly I agree with you. I think everybody would agree with you. But she wasn't. She couldn't have been physically attractive. Otherwise, you would have. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not what I'm going to say. It wasn't her physical attractiveness. It was, when you talked to her and she opened her mouth and you got to know her, that's where she was unattractive. So you're unattracted. You being unattracted to her had nothing to do with her physical looks. It had to do with her personality,
her essence.
My man, it was a combination. Look, it was basically a combination of everything, I guess. If I'm saying that I liked the person but just didn't feel the spark, then it's a combination of everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm getting requests in the Twitch chat room. The Love Boat is making another run.
All right,
Tiger Saint says he likes big butts and he cannot lie.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You and the other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.
Next question.
My anaconda.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
You can do side bends and sit-ups.
How is it I'm the normal one this week with all the good takes? What in God's name did happen here?
That's the off-season.
It's Bizarro. This is the multiverse of madness. There's your Doctor Strange plug.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just chaos everywhere, and Kevin talking offensive line.
To conclude the love update, do you have any other dates lined up? Anything on the horizon here?
No. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
And where did you meet this girl? Which app? Which one of the apps?
This one was Tinder.
Tinder. Okay, the old-fashioned Tinder. The OG. the OG.
It was a nice conversation. Good hanging out with her.
Did you take her to that sushi place that you take all your victims? I mean, dates.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I really wish I had a yellow flag here. That I could
we need a whistle sound effect.
No, we met at a pinball bar.
A football bar?
No, a pinball bar.
Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Okay.
That sounds like something on a.
Yeah, that's so she
Tony
instantly
Bourdain
knew how nerdy you were right off the bat. Got it. The Love Boat.
All right, Thomas.
Next question.
Oh, next question. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, if we're not going to have a sponsor for the little banner at the bottom that says your logo goes here, can we at least put my store's logo at the bottom there until we get somebody to pay for this, for crying out loud?
Of course. You'll just have to fork over some cash.
We'll give you a good deal.
Yeah.
Cachet.
We'll give you a good deal.
And by the way,
check out the chat, guys.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to sponsor, they could sponsor.
Can't read the chat.
Could be.
What are you talking about? The white flag?
Kevin's date, man.
Yeah.
Someone's in. Oh yeah, Kevin's date is in the chat.
Oh.
She knows what play action is. Marry
That's
her.
gotta be Bud. I think that's Bud. Rich.
She
knows
said,
what this.
"I gave Kevin good deal."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got the Robert Kraft deal.
Oh man!
Kevin wanted the happy ending, but didn't want to pay.
If she knows what RPO is, Kevin, marry her.
We're on to you, Kevin.
All right, what do we got?
Saints happy ending hour.
Nice.
That's the X-rated version for patrons that pay $25 a month.
No, that's the $100 tier.
That's right.
Happy ending with the good arm, I presume, Ralph.
Oh my God!
Subscribe to our only.
Oh man, we are in the off season now. That's
Fans
brutal.
just feet picks.
Thomas just comes in from the top rope like Randy Savage, just boom.
By the way, also funny story. A friend of mine went to my son's school to do lunch duty or whatever, and one of my son's friends. Yeah, and look, it's not over, buddy. Okay, this isn't one of your dates. This goes on a little bit longer than you might expect. So, but one of my son's friends came up to my friend. He was like, "Oh yeah, his dad's got a podcast. They say all kinds of dirty words on the podcast." So our reputation is already preceding us at my son's school. I can't imagine what it's like at your son's school, Andrew.
Great schoolers. Hell yeah.
Here's it.
Yeah, I gotta say, my level of comfort every time you guys drop an F-bomb is
Here's the
great.
thing. Here's the thing. My wife. She told me to give up cursing for Lent because she said I'm out of control with the cursing. Not necessarily on the podcast, in real life.
I'm just waiting for that moment where the shoe drops.
I'm the worst offender.
Some kid or some parent of some kid watches this show and tells me what a terrible person I am or whatever. Like it,
well, they don't need to watch the podcast for that.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Fortunately, it wasn't Steve Gleason's son who said that to my
Milk was a bad choice.
That to my friend. That would have been embarrassing.
Well, look, I'm the worst. Look, I'm the worst offender. So we can all blame Kevin.
Depends on how much Dave's had to drink.
Yeah. Thomas, I think we skipped your question.
No, we just never got to it.
We never got to it.
Yeah, here we go.
Michael Thomas.
That's not my question. That's Johnny V's question, and he asks, "What's worse, Michael Thomas's paper mache ankle?" Or OBJ's glass knee.
He pronounced his name like we pronounce his name.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas's paper mache ankle.
I mean,
my answer to this question is I don't really care about OBJ's glass knee because he's not on the Saints. The only thing I care about is Michael Thomas's paper mache ankle, and it sucks. I hate it. It's the worst. For me personally, Michael Thomas's paper mache ankle is the worst.
Dave getting angry in those goddamn sunglasses.
The only rebuttal I would give there. I mean, I totally agree with Dave, except that
there's a little bit of movement with him. He goes on these little rants, and it's just like.
I want Dave to go on an inflation rant and then flip the glasses up and flip them down.
Are you ready? Tomas, zoom in on this.
Dave looks like he's in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
He does.
But my only thing I was going to say about Michael Thomas is that he had a lot of durability prior to this injury, whereas Odell has kind of spent a large part of his NFL career being hurt.
Yeah.
So
Odell's been hurt ever since he got to Cleveland, basically. Right?
Didn't he tear his ACL with the Giants too?
Maybe, I don't know.
He's got a Super Bowl. He should just retire. Like, come on, just end it.
Next question.
Alrighty, next question from Blake Zykin, who's in the chat, and he asks, when Alvin eventually retires, will he go to boxing and kick Jake Paul's ass?
Ooh, that's a good question.
No. Alvin Kamara is remember he got really into snowboarding? He went to
did.
Colorado that summer and
he
and
went
then
for
and then
one
he did
day. He went
NASCAR.
snowboarding one day.
And then he went,
and he was
and
like,
then he's like into NASCAR too. Remember?
yeah,
So I guess it's
he's like
possible
Ralph.
he'll
He's a
find his
prisoner
way-
of the moment. He's a prisoner of the moment.
It's possible he'll find his way to boxing, but he'll never take it far enough because he'll find something else and think that's amazing, and he'll just he's a floater, man. Alvin Kamara's a floater.
He does something one time and he thinks he's going to be professional. He snowboards. He's ready to go to the Olympics. He drives a NASCAR. He's ready to do Daytona. He kicks somebody's ass outside of the elevator. He's ready to go into WWE.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
Sorry, was that insulting to you, to wrestling?
Yeah.
Kevin, I didn't mean to insult.
What do we got, Tom?
Kevin wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Kevin, that's right.
Dave wants to be sensitive to your feelings, Kevin. He doesn't want you to feel slighted on the show.
Yeah. I mean,
all
it's been apparent.
wrestlers matter. Yeah.
Oh my God. What do we got, Thomas?
Next question.
Last question of the show belongs to Saints Rabbit, and he asks, is the temporary US ban on avocados from Mexico further evidence of Drew Brees' terrible off-the-field business choices? And we have a photo for that also.
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
I didn't know we were banning avocados.
Is that real?
Avocados
that is
from
absolutely
That's
Mexico.
real. That's real. Yeah, that's real.
What are the odds Drew Brees actually posed there and they didn't just Photoshop his head on somebody's neck?
The guac,
100%.
the
He's in the guac zone.
Yeah, the guac zone. It was like a
Drew,
whole room.
Drew doesn't
of
even
people.
know he agreed. Like, Drew doesn't know he even agreed to this.
They're just
Drew's
like,
agent signed some
hold
papers and they did an MS Paint and dragged his head over.
that's right.
It does kind of look photoshopped.
It does. I mean, if
I don't
Thomas
know
did that in the Drew Brees bracket, we would have been like, "Is that
It's
real?"
probably not photoshopped, guys. I've seen like
No, it's not.
crazy photos of Drew, you know.
Yeah,
and-
no.
Well,
why are we
I
banning
think-
avocados? Was there
It's some
something
sort of
wrong?
law. I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah,
high.
sure.
It's going to be high prices, out of control, and it's going to hurt the Marlboro family bottom line because we eat a lot of guacamole, like a ton.
I thought you were gonna say because like your family works in the avocado.
No,
business.
we just
Guac-
eat a lot of guacamole.
Guacamole's going up. It's going to pass frozen concentrated orange juice before you know it.
It's
Frozen concentrated orange juice.
Terrible.
That's a Trading Places reference, Dave. Maybe watch that goddamn movie.
Trading Places, like the home renovation show on
no
Trading
TLC?
Spaces. Trading Places.
my
Dan
goodness.
Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy,
Mortimer.
Jamie Lee
Mortimer.
Curtis.
Goodness.
Paul
Mortimer.
Gleason.
Dave.
One of the great comedies of the early 80s. Look into it.
Tremendous.
It was quite good. It was quite
So that wraps us up. But Thomas, did the people they do a better job than last week? Do we have good? Did you have good options to choose from the clip of the week?
Oh man, I had plenty to choose from. Thanks to Blake Zykin,
right.
shout out to him, and a couple others. Budrich among them. And we'll go back to Kevin's dating life for the clip.
Oh yes,
Here we
yes. Always a
Kind of
good
like,
time.
sorry to the audio listeners, it's mostly the visual effect that's funny.
By the way, if there are any listeners out there who aren't patrons who want more Kevin content, I will make sure that we give you the Kevin content you need. We will do one show a week, a Kevin Love update once a week. That's going to be every Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be your Kevin Love update. If you sign up,
Kevin Love podcast.
if you sign up to be a patron and just in the notes section when you sign up and you check out, just put Kevin Love update, and we'll make sure every Tuesday is going to be the Kevin Love update.
All right, let's see
Can
the
we
clip.
Photoshop
Oh.
Kevin's head on Kevin Love's body?
I can Photoshop Kevin's head on Drew Brees' avocado advertisement.
All right, let's see the clip. Bring it on. Hi, Kevin.
Oh yes. Wait, is this the? Oh no.
I gotta say, this is the first point in this podcast where I miss Dave. If Dave
Yeah, the clip is called Kevin's Dates When He Goes to the Bathroom.
We never got a still of Kevin's roommate, but as they were crawling across
going across the back.
We never got that. We never got that.
We don't want to get banned. Get banned.
That's why you need to check out the live stream if you're not and you listen to the audio only version. You don't know what's going to happen behind us. You got people going behind Kevin. You got Dave taking a dump during the show. We have all kinds of things happen on the live stream that you miss if you listen to the audio only version. I'm just saying. So you should make sure to come on.
One of Juge's kids might do a run-in.
Yeah. You come on the live stream. You should use your Amazon Prime subscription to give us free money. It doesn't cost you anything. Sign up. Amazon Prime. Go to twitch.com/saintshappyhour.com. Sign up. Use Prime. Give us money. It's Jeff Bezos' money. It doesn't cost you anything. You should do it. Just saying. Dave. We lost Dave, I think.
Oh, we didn't lose Dave.
We did. He said his computer battery just died.
Yeah. All right.
And
that tells us it's time to get on out of here, Thomas. Thanks everybody for joining us in the live stream. Thanks to Andrew. Thanks to Kevin. Thanks to Dave, even though his freaking battery died. Thanks to Thomas, the best producer in the world, getting up in the middle of the night, running the show from Poland. Amazing job as always, Thomas. Thanks, guys. Support the freaking show. We need it. Remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.
And keep your hands below camera level there, Dave.